The gym is an alt-right pipeline into eugenics. And I'm starting to get concerned the way that a lot of men over the last 5-6 years have gotten really, really into fitness and gym culture. Look what's happening to white women. White women are literally starving themselves.
White women are still notoriously fat based on every metric, so that's not true. Just because Ariana Grande is kind of scary looking doesn't mean all white women are doing that.
That's also bad. We don't promote that.
No.
Today we're learning about lesbians.
Oh,
Can you say lesbian? Good job.
The Miss Rachel costume is creepy.
I don't even know what to say anymore to this bitch.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gays, where we take on insanity. I'm Brad, here with Clarkson.
What's up, guys? Now, before we get started, make sure you join us a member because we're going to be recapping my beef with Aslan Bird.
OG TikTok beggar.
Roger.
Turned non-binary homeless.
It was the most legendary TikTok beef of all time, and I'm not even being biased. I'm telling you, it was legendary. So
anyway, I'm going to let you do a choose your adventure game for this video because we're going to react to two different cringe videos.
Okay.
Would you prefer the most obnoxious woke white lady you've ever seen ranting about a subject near and dear to your heart, or do you want to hear Lilly Tino explaining why she's a lesbian?
Talk about a lose-lose
It's like the
scenario.
meme where it's like the libertarian candidate for president in 2024, Chase Oliver, it became a TikTok sound, was asked, gun to your head, Trump or Biden or Kamala.
And he said the trigger.
And he said the gun would go off.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, the capitalist in me wants to say Lilly Tino because I know that the viewers who are just here for that will most likely stay watching. But I think I want to get triggered first before we watch Lilly Tino because I'm just so over her that she just put me to sleep. So let's watch the other one.
Okay. This is Kylie Brewer cautioning people against fitness content. Because that's what America needs now, is to like chill out with the fitness stuff.
Yeah. All our heart disease and
we finally have
obesity
obesity go down slightly once for 1 year, and she's like, cut that out.
Also, fitness content is relatable because everybody needs to work out. That's why it's such a big market. Anyways.
Get educated.
All right, let's watch.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the gym is an alt-right pipeline into eugenics. And I'm starting to get concerned the way that a lot of men over the last 5-6 years have gotten really, really into fitness and gym culture, which at its core in America is rooted in white supremacy because it wants every single person to look like the perfect specimen. And a lot of men take this to an insane degree. And again, there is nothing wrong with wanting to get in shape, or you want to take care of your body, you want to eat a different way. That is totally, totally fine. It's the way that a lot of men will fixate on certain things, or like those professional like looks maxers. They'll be like, well, you need to fix this specific thing about yourself. I would give you this score out of 10. Used to try to purify a race to try to make sure that people look a certain way so that they're held to a certain standard, which is giving very like Aryan Prince style. And I do believe it's healthy for people in any society to look different. There shouldn't be a single standard that every single person has to be held to, because look what's happening to white women. White women are literally starving themselves, and they would rather than be fat, which is not healthy either. Eating videos leads to weightlifting videos,
sure, that's
leads
not
to history of the
healthy
white
either.
race, leads to eugenics and like the perfect specimen and perfect body. Just be careful, y'all. It's really making me sad. I thought we were past this.
White women are still notoriously fat based on every metric, so that's not true. Just because Ariana Grande is kind of scary looking doesn't mean all white women are doing that.
That's also bad. We don't promote that.
No, that's disordered eating.
But that's not coming from fitness content.
And that's also, you think red pill bro looks maxing content is negatively impacting white women to have eating disorders.
And also the leaps from fitness.
So it's all male content that is affecting women. And
Makes no
the
sense.
race thing?
Fitness to eugenics to white supremacy to what it's just so many leaps. This bitch deserves an Olympic medal for mental gymnastics.
She's the one who's seeing race and fuck. Well, I've seen this girl before.
That is her.
I know, that's
shtick.
her shtick, is being like the white girl
She
who
literally
hates
is
herself.
like such a woke savior. She like tries to get a random. Someone sends her a video of like a 15-year-old girl singing the N-word on Snapchat, and she like posts it to everyone and is like, "Find this girl, find her school, get her suspended."
Listen, we all know on this channel politics is projection. If somebody is that,
this bitch must be racist.
she must
as
be
fuck.
deeply racist and feel like shit about it, or like know that it's bad, and that's why she makes this kind
Every
of
time
content.
she watches a fitness video, her first thought is like, "Damn, black girls could never," or whatever.
Yeah,
like
that's all she's thinking about. the idea of the perfect specimen doesn't have anything to do with race. Like, it's just a known fact that like better looking people and people who are in better shape are going to be treated better by others. And that's a
Correct.
survival mechanism in the brain.
Pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege is just something
It's so funny. She's all about people being
biological.
oppressed, but when there's a way to be less oppressed, she's like, don't do that.
Don't do it.
bad.
That's what I'm saying. If oppression is bad for fat people, wouldn't you want them to be skinny?
Ooh.
Maybe not skinny, but like in shape.
Healthy.
If you watch the Normal Gaze channel, you know that I am a virgin. But you're not. You're a So that's why this week's episode is sponsored by Telestrand. And yes, I'm doing this in an ASMR voice. This is Telestrand's 1 cup. All you have to do is pee in it, and then you'll get a full STD panel to know what is causing that itch in your groin from having a little bit too much fun at the Pride Parade. It also will test for HIV so you can get your PrEP gaze. All you need to do is download their app, order the 1 cup test, and they'll send you all the materials with instructions on how to pee in a cup and the shipping materials, so you can send it back to them and get your results in real time. Like I said, I may not need to test for STDs, but you do. So stay clean, folks. Let's get back to the show.
Well, but she does say it's good if you want to eat better and work out.
Because your body does
but just be careful about watching content promoting that.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot now. It is true in like the bodybuilding industry. Because a lot of them aren't the brightest.
Well, there's bad content because
I'm
it's
saying like
eugenics and racist.
They are correct, but there are a lot of like right wing. A lot of bodybuilders have become fairly right wing in the last few years, and like to a point where it's like Nick Fuentes type.
Sure, you shouldn't be getting intellectual inspo from these
correct. And you probably shouldn't be getting. Maybe you can get lifting info, but like a lot of them are also pushing steroids, which is not healthy. So you need to find. I'm not saying that I'm judging it. I'm just saying don't get advice from them on other stuff. Just make sure it's strictly like having to do with movement and like maybe diet or something like that. But I
think this kind of, when you dial up your critique to 10 all the time, it really doesn't hit. Like if there's even a tiny kernel of truth to anything she says, I can't take it seriously when she jumps to eugenics, white supremacy, fascism from lifting content.
Eugenics is really a term that a lot of people are using as just like a way to scare people when anybody wants to better themselves.
That's also
kind of
not what
creepy.
eugenics
It's not what eugenics is. Like bettering yourself or wanting your kids to be better than you is not eugenics.
Well, it could be depending on the exact method, but the fitness content has nothing to do with eugenics.
Well, she's making the argument like if raising your kids to work out or to do this way or to take care of themselves or to like whatever, I would say that she would classify that as eugenics.
Then that word has lost all meaning.
It
and
has.
is no
That's
longer
what I'm
bad.
saying. It's another thing. It's like racism, eugenics, all of this stuff that was notoriously bad previously is now just like a buzzword.
Yeah, very much so. And she's just the queen of that. And I think she has the most severe white savior complex I have ever seen. So we're going to watch one more video from her. Then we'll get into Miss Lily's lesbian awakening.
Okay.
God. Let's watch.
This might be a hot take, but I think a lot of white people need to continue to educate the racist white people in their lives. There are 2 exceptions to this. Number 1 being if that family member is abusive to you in any way, fully cut them off. And the second exception is if you're living under the control of these people, you're a minor,
bet she defines
or
that
telling
very
them is
narrowly.
just quite literally not going to create any change. However, I think that most people are capable of change, specifically if they fall into the categories of just being ignorant and kind of trapped in this bubble. And there are a lot of people who are racist because it's a cultural thing among white people that can be trained out of that. And trust me, I have gotten so many messages from people saying,
Just
oh my
white
God,
people?
I used to be racist. I didn't know I was racist. And I appreciate your content because it has shown me like all these things about white culture. And so if this is you and you have family members that fall into the category of you think can be quote rehabilitated or educated, I think it's the responsibility of a lot of white people to do this exact thing. Because also when white people fully cut off our white relatives, they feel vindicated and they're like, see, this is the radical left, and they double down in that racism. And I think as white people, if we unite to solve this problem of racism, we could make a lot of headway.
So the problem with this is the actual caption of the video as well lays this out. But we created this problem. So that's what she says. White people are responsible for ending racism we created this problem, so it's up to us to solve it. If you're not educating yourself or other white people, you're part of the problem. That is itself a deeply, deeply racist sentiment. I have no moral guilt or burden placed on me because of forebearers that were also white, whatever that even means. I'm not even convinced white is a real category of people.
Right.
But
well, also they can't even define it.
No.
Because if you're white appearing and you're not actually white, then it's like this whole ordeal when they have to figure out whether or not you're oppressed. But the only thing that and this might be a hot take, but what truly is white culture comparatively to other cultures is to train yourself out of not being racist. Because racism is, if you've traveled anywhere, like, I'm sorry, but Asian culture is very racist.
Mm-hmm.
Every culture is racist. If you travel to Latin America, they're very racist. If you travel anywhere, because it's a function of in-group versus out-group mentality, which is something that has to do with human psychology. It's not about, like, it's something that's biological, and I feel like white people, because of the past, are trying very hard to rectify it.
And that's good up until a point where you end up in this delusional.
Exactly. That's my point.
And no, I completely agree. The one piece of this I sort of do like is that I guess she's not an advocate for cutting off your like MAGA family or whatever.
Yeah.
But she wants you to preach to them instead.
Well, her term of racism, or her version
That's
of
the problem.
racism.
I know that she defines racism to just be everything.
Right. So everything she's saying sounds good to like a passive watcher because they're thinking that the white family members are genuinely racist. But like to her, it's racist to work out.
But I also don't.
So like, I mean, what are you going to educate like all of your family members on who just like to work out and want to look good and say that it's racist?
She doesn't say it's racist to work out. She says that fitness content takes you down to eugenics, white
well,
supremacist pipeline.
Let's say you get really addicted to fitness and modifying your body through
then
work,
you're doing eugenics.
Then that would
you're
be
idealizing
and
the
racism,
ideal specimen,
which is racism.
Which is racism.
So she's going to give you a whole spiel.
And the
about
other thing
that.
is, like, in some of her other content, I'm convinced she's actually racist because of one, the way she collectivizes about white people in a very objectively racist way, but two, she like fetishizes black women. She does videos where she's like, I've learned so much from black women. Black women are so strong.
It's so annoying because there's probably so many black women in her comments thinking that she's on their side, and it's like she's just manipulating you.
She's
for
tokenizing you so hard.
Yeah, she's treating you like a pet. That's really what she's doing. It's so gross.
I hate it. But speaking of things that are not at all gross, you want to watch Lilly Tino?
Here we go. Let's watch it. Is this a new post?
From today.
Oh, damn, we're quick.
I was just, relieving myself earlier and I had to come across it.
Oh my God.
That's a joke.
Oh my God.
Joke.
Well,
oh my
actually,
God.
before we filmed, he was like, we should react to Lilly Tino's OnlyFans again. And I'm like, that's a little sus
Oh my God.
to do it twice, Brad.
Do you know how much money we made last time? Okay.
Yeah, but like,
oh my God.
I don't know if I want to watch that again.
The number of allegations, if I go on to become a serious journalist, the number of allegations from this podcast.
There are so many things that could be clipped. You're going to be like Graham Plattner.
Okay. Probably
well, I'm
not.
saying if you ever ran for office, either one of us,
cooked.
Our campaigns would be like that.
Literal rape today,
yeah, I know. I'm being dramatic. But our campaigns would be a mess. But the thing is like,
but no one would care about that point in time. No one will care.
If I ever run for office, I feel like I'm gonna have to do it Trump style.
Yeah,
like just not
unapologetic.
Give a fuck. Yeah,
it's the
and be real as because if you don't, then it's like all of the things I've said before are gonna come back to haunt me. But if you just don't give a they don't care. Anyways, let's watch Lilly.
Today we're learning about lesbians. Can you say lesbian? Good job. Here are two lesbians. Miss Chrissy is a cisgender woman. Miss Annie is a transgender woman. But wait, Miss Lilly, how can a transgender woman be a lesbian?
Good question.
Great question. Let's put on our thinking caps. Trans and cis.
Bitch, you've never put on a thinking cap in your life.
Adjectives that modify the noun woman. Just like vanilla and chocolate modify the noun ice cream. They're both still ice cream, just different flavors. The same is true for cis and trans under the umbrella woman. And wouldn't you know, there's a lot of space under this umbrella. You can fit trans women and cis women, and no one feels any less comfortable. Time for a pop quiz.
That's not true.
The first question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes women? Oh, I know this. They're a lesbian. The second question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes men? I know this. They're straight. A+. Good job, everyone.
They're a little... It's not the straightest.
I would say that it is a form of bisexuality.
Correct, obviously.
That's all it is. Lily...
The Miss, what's her name? Miss Rachel costume is creepy. The teaching
I
the
should
children
message
is
Miss
creepy.
Rachel and see if she's okay with this.
She's never spoken out against it to my knowledge, but she really should send Lilly Tino a cease and desist.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say anymore to this bitch. Like, I really have no commentary.
Well, I do love there's one point here that I do find interesting. The idea that, well, trans being a woman and being a lesbian, or trans lesbian being valid, must be valid because it's an adjective, so it describes the word.
Mm-hmm.
So then a jumbo shrimp is therefore jumbo. It's like, what? It's like that's not actually how language works.
That was a good point that I would have never made because I'm uneducated, but good job. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, Lily. The idea that two people with penises can have sex and call it lesbian sex, frankly, astounds me. And I don't think I'll ever be convinced that that is a form of lesbianism. I'm sorry. Also, Lily did say that nobody feels threatened when you lump the two together. And I'm like, I think many people feel threatened being under the same umbrella as you. I think many women feel threatened being in the same bathroom as you, Lily.
For good reason.
I'm not, that's not me making a point on the bathroom issue, because I think if you pass, you should use the bathroom that you pass for. But that's a little disingenuous because many women don't feel comfortable, specifically lesbians. Are you okay? What are you doing?
I'm gonna call Misha and see if she thinks that Lilly Tino can be a lesbian.
Guest appearance. I was like, why is Brad on his phone? I must be boring him.
No, you're the one that gets bored of me. I don't get bored of you.
Yeah, that's ADHD.
Hey, you're on air.
I'm on air.
You're on Normal Gaze.
I see.
We wanted to call you in for your expertise because
you're our token lesbian.
We just watched Lilly Tino's video explaining that trans women can be lesbians, because
if you have XY chromosomes, you're not a lesbian, babes.
What do you mean though? She's very ladylike and she likes women, so.
Okay. Well, Lilly Tino's an AGP. Lilly Tino is not a lesbian. That's a biological male, and that's an AGP. And that's pretty much the end of that.
That is the end of it.
But she said there's room under the umbrella for everyone. You don't want to
say whatever she wants. But yeah, no real lesbian would date Lilly Tino. Okay. That would be a bisexual person.
That would be a demented woman.
Be a demented, deeply troubled individual. And likely a bisexual.
We're considering watching Lily's OF again.
Not we.
Again?
Well, yeah, we did it.
That's not we. That's Brad.
We watched it and freaked out once for a members only video. And the craziest shit is that like 300 people signed up to see our paywalled content just for that video.
And Brad wants to watch it again. Don't you think that's a little sus?
You might need some Pepto-Bismol or something. I can't even imagine. You guys are brave for that.
Can I ask you an inappropriate question?
Yes, you can.
Do you think Lily's a top or a bottom? We know the answer.
Is Lily a top or a bottom? See, I want to say bottom, but the way you're asking me, I'm going to say top.
No. Bottom.
No? Okay, I thought it was a trick question. But I did think that.
Well, it kind of is a trick question in that nobody really wants to know the answer.
Well, you'd think that somebody with that...
I do think Lily has a very small penis.
Well, also no testicles. They've been removed.
Wow, yum. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's like average. It's not large.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about that? But see, this is how you know she's not a lesbian. The fact that this is a conversation.
Enough of all of this.
Well, you'd think that she would be a top with that domineering tone, but
okay. Well, we thank you for your expertise.
Of course, thank you.
Come back to Miami soon.
Have dinner. I will.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Imagine you get a phone call and somebody's asking you about Lilly Tino's penis.
Yeah, well, she brought up Lilly Tino's penis, not us.
Well, did she?
I don't know. No, I think you brought up. Anyways, so this took a turn.
Okay, all right, guys.
Brad wanted to talk about Lily's penis again, and he also wants us to react to her OnlyFans again.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to, because I imagine there's been updated content.
I don't imagine those possibilities because nowhere in my brain do I want to know the answer to that.
Okay, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, rate us on Apple, Spotify, become a channel member to support our content, and we'll be back with more real soon.